One of the tells of a mental breakdown is a profound break from reality. And for Tiny Fingers, it's been a long time coming.
I'm a very stable genius.
But put aside Trump's attack on U.S. citizens, brown people, political opponents, and even his meltdown over Epstein.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Well, now you can see his fatal flaw. The one thing that is quantifiable is the economy. Prices, shortages, tariffs, and the outright malfeasance. These are killing American consumers. And now people can see why. While Trump blames Biden for inflation, the numbers say otherwise. And where before MAGA believed Trump's lies, they're having a hard time swallowing the one lie that now affects everything in their lives, from grocery prices to mortgages. And while Trump seems lost in his fading mental acuity, the simple fact is he just doesn't care.
I mean, how do Americans feel about inflation, how it's impacting their lives?
I couldn't care less.
They think prices are rising, and it's across different. Look at this. I mean, just your costs are up versus a year ago. Groceries, 85%. Utilities, 78%. Healthcare, 67%. Housing, 66%. Gasoline, 54%. The bottom line is this. Americans feel like prices are rising in each and every single part of their lives, rising ever climber, and they just don't feel like, Kate Baldwin, that they can catch a break.
The Treasury Secretary in new comments kind of dismissed the impact tariffs is having on inflation, also saying that prices are going to be coming down in weeks. Some other prices are going to be coming down in months. What do Americans think about that?
Yeah, they think he's full of it. That's exactly what they think. I mean, just take a look here. Tariffs raising prices right now. I'm going to come over Kate's side of the screen, 71%.
How dare you?
How dare I do that? 84% of Democrats, 74% of independents, and even a majority of Republicans. When you can get a majority of Republicans to agree with majority of Democrats, you know that the pain is being felt by the American public right now. The Treasury Secretary can try and tell the people something, but they can feel in their pocketbooks. They simply put, don't buy what he and this administration is selling them when it comes to tariffs.
You know, and Harry, one thing we've heard over and over again is the president and many of those around him blaming the Biden administration for where inflation is right now. Do people agree with that?
No. You know what? I want to quote Judge Judy, but I'm not going to. I'm merely going to try and say that it's like they're trying to sell ice up at the North Pole when it comes to this. More responsible for the current economy. 62% of Americans say it's Donald Trump. Just 32% say it's Joe Biden. Look, Donald Trump did, in fact, inherit an economy from Joe Biden. But now we are nearly a year into the Donald Trump administration. If the Trump administration is trying to push the buck over there, they simply put, the American folks aren't buying it. They say at this point it is Donald Trump's economy, and what is happening in terms of inflation is his responsibility.
So that's what Americans think. And while Trump continues to say that tariffs arouse him.
Tariffs. To me, I think it's the most beautiful word in the dictionary. More beautiful than love.
Dude, that is a weird motherfucker, right? Anyway, the tariffs are hurting Americans, plain and simple.
Every time we go buy something now, you know, the tariffs, what I've seen, the tariffs pass down to the consumer.
So if you have to go buy a new sprayer, like the one behind you.
Anything that comes from China that's on that sprayer, there's a tariff, and they're just going to pass it directly to us.
One more time. If Trump tells a foreign company, one that sells a lot of shit here, if he tells them that for every widget they sell here, they have to pay a tariff, nobody's happy. We're going to add 25 to 100% to the cost American consumers pay. And that means that foreign companies will sell fewer widgets. But Americans can't buy those widgets here because America is no longer a manufacturing nation. And we don't make widgets anymore. We simply can't compete with lower wages other nations pay to workers. Or if Americans buy foreign widgets, they can't buy American products because they have less money to spend. So in response, foreign nations add tariffs to things U.S. companies sell over there, like agricultural products, food. But with Trump deporting immigrants, food prices are skyrocketing. But, and this is a big but, that also means that U.S. companies selling items to foreign nations also see sales drop. And that means they lay off workers here who have less money to buy U.S. stuff. And that's called a recession. Now, whatever money the U.S. gets in tariff revenue is greatly offset by inflation. I mean, if Trump lowered taxes on the middle class, that might help, except for two things. Number one, you need a job to see lower taxes affect you. And two, countries like China say, fuck off, we'll sell our stuff elsewhere.
Leaders of some of America's biggest trading partners, said another way, some of America's closest allies, are reacting and preparing to retaliate this morning, now after President Trump announced 25% tariffs coming next week on all cars shipped to the United States.
And Americans, especially Republicans, are also seeing that while Trump is filling his pockets via his backdoor deals with China, the Saudis, and even Russia, who is still giving money to GOP candidates, well, that's not good for the midterm prospects for MAGA acolytes.